This is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Good Wednesday morning. I'm Ray Collins. Chaplain Matter is off for the rest of the week. It's John Skulls. He is back tomorrow. Josh Stone has one more day with us. And Josh, off to a chilly start so far today.
Exactly, Ray. Yeah, we walk outside and we're kind of getting a little shock to the system with this cool air coming down from the north. And we're going to experience this for the next, 24 hours. 55 degrees is our current temperature right now. That's actually a blessing because tomorrow morning when John comes in here and shows you this graphic, we're going to have temperatures in the 30s. As far as our skies right now, just a few clouds out there, but mostly clear skies. Breezy conditions still, winds coming out of the northwest, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour. Our highs today will top out only in the low 60s. We'll talk more about this and your forecast coming up a little bit later. Back to you.
All right, talk to you soon. Let's check the roads as you wake up now on this Wednesday morning. So far, very smooth sailing through Manatee County. No slowdowns at this point of the morning commute. Let's check a little farther south now. Little red areas, though, in Sarasota County. Let's see, we've got 41 in the southbound lane, not too far from Fruitville. Also out Fruitville, you'll see traffic heading toward the interstate. A little bit of a slowdown there right now. Otherwise, not much to report. And then in South County, a little bit of a slowdown there near Warm Mineral Springs and Tarpon Point as 41 swings from an east-west direction. We'll have more updates every 15 minutes here on the Morning Show. And topping our news this morning, results are in from the March elections in 3 different parts of the Suncoast. First off, the big race for 2 at-large seats for Sarasota City Commissioner. There are all the results right there. The top 3 candidates, Jen Ahern-Koch, Hagan Brody, and Martin Hyde, will advance to a runoff election that's set for May 9th. You'll also notice who's not in there. Incumbent Commissioner Susan Chapman has been ousted from her seat after 1 term. She came in 4th in the 8-person field. In the city of Northport, Jill Luke and Pete Emmerich will square off in a May 4th election as well, for May 9th rather, for seat 4 on the Northport board. And 2 open commission seats in the town of Longboat Key for the District 4 seat. Also there, Jack Daly won 67% of the vote over Larry Grossman, who had 33%. 1 at-large seat in Longboat Key, Jim Brown won with 59% over Gene Gillespie at 41%. And finally, 2 referendums on Longboat Key, both with the same type of result. Voters denied building a residential development on the Gulf of Mexico Drive. And also on Gulf of Mexico Drive, voters are against increasing development density at the Colony property, with 87% saying no thank you on that one. Well, despite all the attention on the Sarasota race, less than 20% of voters went to the polls yesterday. More on that from our Kate Flexter.
It was all eyes on Sarasota's 2 at-large city commission seats, with 8 candidates all vying for the spots.
I think the takeaway here is that the youth vote carried. The 2 youngest candidates were the 2 top vote getters.
Vice Chairman of Sarasota's Democratic Party, Kevin Griffith, says incumbents tend not to do well in the city of Sarasota, voters often choosing new candidates, a point only punctuated by current city commissioner Susan Chapman's loss.
We have a very educated electorate, and once you take a position, they want to know where you stand, and if you're not with them, then they'll bring in someone new.
But this year, like many municipal elections, few voters participated. Eric Arroyo, president of Sarasota's Young Republicans, says that's a frustrating trend.
This is your opportunity to make the vote count, because 50 people, 10 people can make a difference in this election.
Participating in these municipal elections, says Arroyo, can make all the difference.
They affect you immediately, they affect you directly, and they affect you exponentially more than the presidential elections, because these things are happening right in your backyard.
That's why he hopes to see the city of Sarasota move these elections from March to August, adding it would boost voter turnout and drive participation.
If you want a higher voter turnout and you want to be a true democracy and get elected by the most popular candidate of the people, you would move that election to when most people vote.
Kate Flexter, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Again, turnout in Sarasota was less than 20% yesterday. Other news now, cleanup continues around the Suncoast after severe weather earlier this week. 2 tornadoes damaged homes and businesses, and some of the worst of it was in Minnesota Key in the South County area. Reporter Nicole Valdez has a story for us.
So is this where you were sitting?
I was laying in bed, and the window was open. It blew over a picture frame right here. I jumped up to straighten up the frame, and that's when the ceiling collapsed.
That was just the beginning of a terrifying night for Linda Wilkinson. The roof of her third-floor condo on Minnesota Key ripped to shreds. Pieces from the roof above her missed her by just inches.
We probably had debris probably 3 to 4 feet high, and so I was just so glad that I was not underneath it.
This sudden overnight storm, with winds at 50 miles per hour or more, it took out trees, power lines, anything in its path.
It was a very harrowing experience. You know, it came quickly and it left quickly.
The damage focused to just a few blocks of the island. Crews worked through the overnight hours to try and restore power.
I've never felt that kind of an impact before, ever. With anything. It just felt like a freight train hit the building or a locomotive. It's indescribable, the fury there.
Homeowners like Wilkinson now cleaning up what's left of her belongings and praying it can all be fixed. What are you thinking and feeling this morning that you really get to see what it looks like?
Again, it's the only word that I can come up with is heartbreaking, because it is. It's just devastating. It's devastating to the whole area here, and but we'll just start picking it and going step by step.
Now this morning we also have some local pictures from the storm damage to share with you. Take a look at some of these homes and buildings and trucks upside down. The Palm Shores community east of Punta Gorda and Minnesota Key. Several county-owned buildings also had water damage. Charlotte County emergency managers say the tornado on Minnesota Key began as a water spout on the Intercoastal before making landfall. The tornadoes were not the only serious weather causing concerns on the Suncoast this week. Of course, the blizzard in the Northeast canceled over 5,000 flights, including several here at SRQ. As our Rick Adams tells us, some are grateful it wasn't worse.
Very happy. I'm very excited for some warm weather. Hopefully going to get a tan.
Kristen Anders is thrilled to be here. Her flight landed at the Sarasota-Bradenton International Airport Tuesday morning. Despite many cancellations in Buffalo because of the winter storm, she was able to make it out.
It's definitely really snowy. We were lucky. There were 3 flights that were actually not canceled this morning from Buffalo, and we happened to be one of them.
Here at SRQ, there were 5 arriving flights canceled and 5 departing flights canceled. Those flights were heading to or coming from New York, Boston, or Washington, D.C.
Anytime we have the storms go through the Northeast, it creates all kinds of delays and cancellations, so it has a ripple effect across the country.
These are pictures sent in from members of my family in Northeast Pennsylvania. It gives you a much better understanding why air travel is crippled. Peggy Solon just flew in from the Pittsburgh area ahead of the storm. Although she had a 45-minute delay with her connecting flight in Atlanta, she says everybody was in good spirits, especially now, landing someplace warm away from the winter mess.
Everybody was lovely, and I'm here with my friends, and so I'm real excited to be here, and everything's fine.
In Sarasota, I'm Rick Adams, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
And despite all the snow up north, flights this morning at SRQ are so far not affected. Now to an update on a 6-week-old girl who disappeared from Charlotte County. This morning, she is safe. Sheriff deputies found Ashlyn Van Norman yesterday, and she is in good condition. She had not been seen since March 1st, when her mother was arrested for violating probation. The infant's grandmother said the child was likely with a woman listed as homeless and her friend. The girl is now in the care of the Department of Children and Families. We're learning more about next month's lineup at the Sarasota Film Festival. They released their film guide online. The festival is also featuring women filmmakers as their special guests this year. For opening night, SFF will host director Rory Kennedy of the famous Kennedy family for her film Take Every Wave, the life of Laird Hamilton. Other big names this year include actress Diana Hamilton, who will be in attendance for her film Paris Can Wait. Aisha Tyler will also be on the Suncoast for the festival. For her directorial debut on the film Axis, she is best known for her roles in shows like Criminal Minds and The Talk. Happening today on the Suncoast, author Stephen King signing books in downtown Sarasota. The author will be at Bookstore 1 in Sarasota this afternoon. He'll sign copies of his latest book called End of Watch. Those who purchased the book ahead of time were given tickets to the event, which begins at 2 o'clock. And by the way, tomorrow, Jerry Springer will sign his latest book at the same location in downtown Sarasota. A nice event for kids on spring break this week in Sarasota County. The county is hosting a bike rodeo at the North Sarasota Library. The event is part of their new Ride and Stride program. The rodeo will give kids the chance to test their riding skills, have their helmets fitted, and also grab a free lunch. All the fun starts at noon. Or you can ride your bikes to the downtown book signing. Stephen King always draws quite a crowd.
I bet he does.
Yeah.
You know?
He's lived on Casey Key for years. I think I've seen him one time in 15 years at a traffic light at Bee Ridge and 41. He's very reclusive, as you might suspect.
Doesn't he have like a baseball cap on, and he
Boston
just
Red
kind of
Sox.
just blends in with everybody else? Which
Very
is
low
cool.
key. When he does make appearances, it's like the groundhog in February. It's very unusual to see him.
Ah, okay.
Yeah, it's a very Stephen King. Wow, he doesn't like press.
But the question is, will he be wearing his hoodie today?
That's the answer comes from you. It looks like he will be, huh?
I think so, especially tonight with temperatures dipping down into the 30s.
Wow.
I was trying to be as polite as I could to not go that low, but it looks like that's not going to happen. I have to dip it down into the 30s. We'll talk all about it when I come back and show you the weather forecast.
All right, also still ahead, a battle continues over whether tax dollars should pay to market Florida outside the state. And later in the hour, anybody caught drunk driving may soon be forced to prove they are sober every time they get behind the wheel. Stay with us.
It's the season of savings right now during the spring clearance event at Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota. Come shop the Suncoast's largest selection of new Jeep Wranglers, or stop by today and drive away in a 2017 Jeep Cherokee for just $18,999. And for a limited time, get America's best value, a new Dodge Journey for as little as $16,599. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking Dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller, The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
I won cash for life from the Florida Lottery! So I get $1,000 a day every day for the rest of my life. Day 1, bought a pony, we're best buds. Day 7, this is crazy! Another day, another grand. This one's on me. Then Mom said, better save some. And another grand, share the love. I don't even play this thing, but I got a bunch. And another grand, and another grand, another grand, another grand.
Let's do it again tomorrow.
With a prize of $1,000 a day for life, the new Cash for Life draw game is your ticket to a grand day every day.
Car experts and customers agree. There's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru was named the 2016 Best Overall Brand, Most Trusted, and Best Performance Brand by Kelley Blue Book. And ALG named Subaru its top mainstream brand for residual value for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Outback for just $229 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Okay, welcome back. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi for one more day. John returns tomorrow. As far as our temperatures right now, we're in the mid-50s at this time. And once again, the northerly wind, pretty breezy on this Wednesday. And the northerly winds are transporting that cooler air down from the north. But still, it's going to be breezy throughout the day, anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour, sustained with some higher wind gusts today. Our radar will remain quiet, But with these gusty winds, we're going to have a rip current issue here. So the National Weather Service has issued a rip current advisory through tonight. Winds pushing up all that water up to the shoreline, and well, the water that's just offshore, you're creating a void, so that water that's up at the shoreline has to rush back in to fill that void, and that's where we have rip current issues here, a channel of water shooting all the way back, and some of the spring breakers may get caught up into that, so just keep that in mind if you're planning to go to the beach today. Rip current advisory until 6 p.m. tonight. Our radar remains quiet. That's going to be the case throughout the next 7 days. So sunshine in the forecast, but again, with these dew points in now the mid-40s and upper 20s up here in the Panhandle, shows us how dry the atmosphere is right now. Weather headlines for today: sunny and chilly. That's right. Our normal high for this time of the year is 76. We're not going to get out of the 60s today. Inland, maybe if we're lucky, mid to potentially upper 60s. I'm doubtful the upper 60s will happen, but it could. Close to the coastline, lower 60s, and that's it for highs. Tonight, you don't want to see this number, do you? That's right. We're going to dip down into the mid to upper 30s, and then finally for the weekend, we warm back up to maybe not average temperatures, but just below it, but we'll be back in the 70s. Dry air shows up in tan, eroding any sort of moisture above us, so no clouds in our forecast today. Big storm system pounding the northeast. It looks like it missed New York. I mean, it hit New York with some snow and sleet, but it could have been a lot worse for those folks there. Heaviest snow falling inland. You can see where the trough is, though. Jet stream has buckled and allowing all that chilly air to spill southward. 29 degrees right now is the current temperature in Atlanta, so not hot Atlanta for them today. As far as our forecast, like I said, sunshine and not much to show you there. Again, the boating forecast still have a small craft advisory until this morning. Northwesterly winds at 20 knots, seas offshore 3 to 5 feet with choppy conditions. There's your high for the day, 62 degrees. And as we get into the next several days, actually we'll show you tonight's low. I don't want to show you this, but 39 here, at least in Sarasota. Inland areas will be colder than that. And there you go, sunshine the forecast, and then by the weekend and into early next week, we finally warm back up into the mid-70s. Back to you, Ray.
All right. Roads now as you wake up on this Wednesday morning. The only buildup so far we see on the maps in Manatee County, westbound traffic on State Road 70, just west of 301. That should clear up though shortly. Let's head a little farther south and see what we have in Sarasota County. A little bit of a buildup around 41 as you head out toward the St. Armand Circle area. Also 41 northbound, just north of the Business 41 bypass. A little buildup there. That should change shortly. Otherwise, all clear as you wake up on this Wednesday morning. It's a battle you don't see every day in Tallahassee. The Republican governor and the Republican Speaker of the House going head to head. The issue is taxpayer money being used as incentives to attract businesses and tourists to Florida. It's quite a debate, and Christopher Brantley has the story.
In Tallahassee, the gloves are off.
Why in the world would Halsey Brashear or anybody else vote to eliminate Enterprise Florida and decimate Visit Florida? I mean, this is about some family getting a job.
A robust civil debate is a sign that our democracy is working.
Inter-party warfare has been on display as the Republican governor and Republican Speaker of the House duke it out in public over House Bill 9, a bill repealing the tourism agency Enterprise Florida. Governor Rick Scott saying the agency is a job creator.
For our state to simply say, we are not going to compete with other states, we're not going to make it easier to incentivize job creators to grow in Florida, that's just a big mistake for our state and for our families.
The Florida House Speaker Richard Corcoran saying it's a waste.
We don't need two government agencies doing, in essence, the same thing. We ought to have one. It ought to be public. It ought to have all the requirements of openness and transparency.
The two agencies both promote Florida, but in a different way. Enterprise promotes Florida to out-of-state companies hoping to bring their businesses here, while Visit Florida promotes out-of-state tourism. But the changes would be to both, eliminating Enterprise and making major funding changes to Visit.
To eliminate the programs completely or massively defund them is probably not in the best interest of the average taxpayer.
Here on the Suncoast, that change has not been received well.
With 1 out of 5 jobs in Sarasota County created by tourism dollars, that's a major impact.
A major impact to local businesses like Fraser's Gift Nook.
Well, it's real important. You can see that the street's busy, the shop is busy. And you know, if we didn't have all that advertisement, what I think is it's like out of sight, out of mind.
Linda Fraser, the owner, knows tourism well. She worked in the Oklahoma governor's office helping direct tourism. She worries about what might happen to her shop if the tourists stop coming.
As mom and pop stores, we can't compete with the big box stores, so we have to depend on the daily, influx of people.
But the fight isn't over yet. House Speaker Corcoran wants Visit Florida to promote all aspects of Florida.
The issues that we deal with sometimes are so complex and they're so important to the future of our state that they demand and they merit that additional discussion.
The governor has threatened to veto the bill, but the speaker has been working to gain a 2/3 majority to override the veto. At the end of the day, politics aside, it comes down to the local businesses, like Linda Fraser's.
It's like out of sight, out of mind. If they don't see those constant ads about Visit Florida, whether it's the East Coast, the West, the Keys, then they, go, well, they see something else on TV and they'll visit there.
Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
So, of course, the governor is expected to veto the bill. Then we'll see if the House can rally enough votes to override that expected governor's veto. Still ahead on Good Morning Suncoast, you may want to leave your home without your phone on Friday. We'll tell you why one study says it could lower your risk for a cracked screen. And at 5:30, one cereal company is taking aim at an environmental issue, using their mascot to launch a new campaign. Can you guess which mascot? Stay with us.
Are you considering joint replacement or revision surgery? Consider this. Dr. Edward Stolarski has performed thousands of successful joint replacement procedures and trained surgeons from all over the world. Using advanced technologies, Dr. Stolarski is able to perform some of the most complex surgeries.
I wish I knew about Dr. Stolarski much sooner.
After the surgery, I don't have any pain. It's like I've got a 16-year-old hip.
My name's Ed Stolarski. What I really do is I give people back their life.
Schedule a consultation today.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean really moves me.
Wonder.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
Attention, Americans eligible for Medicare. Are you getting all the benefits you're entitled to? Did you know there may be money available to lower your medical prescription costs? Call Health Markets and we'll tell you if you qualify.
Hi, I'm Dr. Martin Jeetsi. It's a new Medicare year. That means more changes and more confusion. The key question is, what can you do now to ensure you get the care you need in the coming year?
Call Health Markets today. You may qualify to save money on prescriptions. We'll help you find plans that may cost less, cover more, and could even lower your prescription costs to increase your savings. We help you find all the benefits you're entitled to, and we do it at no cost.
Make sure you have what you need to get the care that's right for you.
Find out if you qualify to receive extra help with your prescriptions. Call the number on the screen now. Representatives are standing by.
Spring break continues, of course, in Sarasota County, and Charlotte and Manatee County goes on spring break next week. We're at 5:25 right now, and it appears Apple will be unveiling a new iPad very soon. Candace Gibson and Diane Macedo have the story.
In today's Tech Bites, new details about a possible new Apple product.
An online tech report says the new iPad will have a 10.5-inch screen. Now, that's larger than the current iPad Air, but smaller than the iPad Pro. The report says it will be unveiled next month. And Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is trading in his typical gray shirt and jeans for a racing outfit.
The billionaire took to Facebook Live and got into the passenger seat next to NASCAR's Dale Earnhardt Jr., and the F-bombs flew. They got up to speeds of 170 miles an hour. Well, some advice to those who are planning a very happy St. Patrick's Day. Leave your cell phones at home.
New analysis from phone repair companies say there's a 25% jump in damaged phones on the holiday, and that figure could be higher this year because St. Patty's Day falls on a Friday. All those people will be going to church to celebrate.
Yes, they will. Those are your Tech Bites.
Tech Bites. Brought to you by Airwick.
At Airwick, we know the power of that first whiff of your favorite scent. Airwick Freshmatic releases timed bursts of the fragrances you love, so that first whiff feeling never fades. Airwick Freshmatic.
Easter's here. That means church, family gatherings, and saving a lot of money. At Burlington, we get great brands and quality clothes for everyone at really low prices every single day. Wow, nice price. I got the kids' Easter clothes for under $40.
Because my parents told me I have to be responsible.
Because my first coach told me, you can do this.
Because my boss showed me how to do a good job.
Because my teacher helped me see the choices.
I'm swimming faster than I ever dreamed.
I am a valuable employee.
I discovered that I could work as an artist.
I will be whatever I want to be.
Youth with disabilities should grow up expecting to work and succeed. For more information, visit whatcanyoudocampaign.org.
Today at 4 on Suncoast View. I'm Stephanie Roberts on Suncoast View. Mantra Fitness works us out on the Megaformer. Plus, we learn magic tricks, and Chef Judy has the best St. Patrick's Day dining. Today at 4 on Suncoast View.
ABC 7, your Suncoast News. We're here for you weeknights at 5. The official Suncoast Storm team at ABC 7. We're here for you.
Luxury for less at Alex Karras Lincoln. Drive a brand new 2017 Lincoln MKC Sports Utility for $249 per month or 2017 MKZ for $299 per month. We are proud to introduce the newest addition to the Lincoln lineup, the all-new 2017 Lincoln Continental. We have a great selection and ready for immediate delivery. Alex Karras Lincoln, affordable luxury, winner of the prestigious 2015 President's Award, serving Florida's Suncoast since 1978. We're located 2 miles north of the Sarasota-Bradenton Airport on US 41.
Hi, I'm Joan London, and if you're worried about your parent or a loved one living alone like I was, and you want reliable senior care information, then call A Place for Mom, the nation's largest senior living referral service. You'll get free information on assisted living, Alzheimer's care, nursing homes, even important financial information.
They had obviously researched every place, not just given me names. They found me a place for what she could afford, and it was magnificent.
We're now very confident that she's safe, and they just helped every step of the way, and I can't thank them enough.
So if you're struggling to find reliable senior living information, call A Place for Mom. This is a free service, and you can trust them to help you.
Call right now to get your free Senior Care Compass ebook. Find out about the 5 best-kept secrets on financing senior care and assisted living.
Call now, 800-290-0352. 800-290-0352.
Are you Goodwill?
Yes, because when I donate
or shop at Goodwill,
I am creating a job. I am Goodwill, yeah.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from
everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. Our promise means a new car you'll love. If not, return it for one you do. At Sarasota Ford, we promise live market pricing. We monitor national pricing on our entire inventory, so you get the best deal. In fact, we guarantee it. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Coming up on Good Morning Suncoast, reaction to the release of one of President Trump's tax returns. You might be surprised how it got out. And the effects of a major nor'easter will tell you what trouble the storm is causing now. Plus, what happens next to the Marines involved in a nude photo scandal? Stay with us. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from the ABC 7 studios, this is Good Morning Suncoast. We're here for you.
Welcome back. 5:31 right now. I'm Ray Collins. Jacqueline is off for the rest of the week. John Scalzi is back tomorrow. Josh Stone finishes his tour of duty in the Weather Center, and you end on a chilly note here, Josh.
I do. I've been working on that curveball, remember, but
right.
yeah, my arm's kind of frozen right now. Actually, it's going to be more frozen up to the north of us, but boy, temperatures are going to be quite cool over the next 24 hours. Let's check out our current temperatures right now. 55 in Sarasota, 60 in Venice, 52 in Arcadia, 49 is the cool spot in Sebring. But these temperatures tomorrow morning when John Scalzi comes back, we could have 30s on this map. In fact, up to the north of us tomorrow morning, well, they could be in the freezing temperature range. Anyway, our radar remains quiet. That's going to be the case all day long. We'll have plenty of sunshine in our forecast. It is still going to be breezy, though, and highs only topping out in the low 60s. What does the upcoming weekend look like? Well, I'll let you know when I come back and show you the 7-day outlook. Back to you, Ray.
All right, talk to you soon. Thank you, Josh. Let's check the roads right now. Manatee County just showing a usual slowdown on State Road 70. Busy right there, just west of 301 as you head westbound. Not sure why it's tied up there already this morning. Farther south into Sarasota County, a little bit of a buildup on Fruitville Road as you head toward the interstate. Also on Bee Ridge near 41, just after that construction project there. Farther south into the South County map, let's take a peek and see if there's any red there. A little bit of a buildup on 41. It's called the northbound lane, but right there it heads due west. But we'll keep you posted every 15 minutes on the traffic here on Good Morning Suncoast. Topping our news this hour, new details on President Trump's tax returns. As reporter Kenneth Moten tells us, the document was leaked to the press.
President Trump's tax returns revealed, partially. This morning, the White House is confirming what the billionaire president paid in taxes in 2005 only, $38 million on an income of more than $150 million. Trump's tax rate, 25%, slightly lower than the average, but much higher than the 14% 2012 GOP nominee Mitt Romney paid the year before he ran.
What is your tax rate?
It's none of your business.
Trump, the first president in decades not to release his taxes.
Yes or no, do you believe voters have a right to see your tax returns before they make a final decision?
I don't think they do.
So why now?
Came in the mail over the transom.
A report from MSNBC. Independent award-winning journalist David K. Johnston claimed on the Rachel Maddow show he received the first 2 pages of the 05 tax document anonymously in the mail.
Let me point out, it's entirely possible that Donald sent this to me. Donald Trump has, over the years, leaked all sorts of things.
Democrats have called Trump the, quote, deflector in chief. Negative headlines about the GOP healthcare plan to replace Obamacare. His failure to back up his claim that President Obama wiretapped him, and investigations on Russia.
What do the Russians have on Donald Trump politically, financially, and personally? What would the tax returns tell us about that?
This morning, the White House fired back, attacking the media and calling the tax document illegally obtained but authentic. We still don't know key information like Trump's source of income or charitable donations. Kenneth Moten, ABC News, Washington.
An update now on that major nor'easter hitting states from Ohio to Maine. Though New York City didn't receive as much as expected, closer to half a foot fell in other parts of the Northeast. The storm caused high winds, freezing rain, and sleet. And those conditions are forecasted to continue into tomorrow. Officials are now warning that freezing overnight temperatures could cause roads to re-ice up north. Not pretty. Florida Power and Light is sending 320 employees and contractors to help restore electricity up north. FPL crews are helping local crews. Northern crews have helped us in the past. In fact, Utility workers played a critical role in restoring service to over 1 million FPL customers after Hurricane Matthew back in October. Crews from as far away as Texas helped FPL restore service to 98% of its customers within 2 days. We are following developments in that military scandal involving nude photos being shared on social media. Tough questions being asked of one high-ranking official on Capitol Hill. Details from Dana Backus.
Pressure is mounting for the U.S. Marine Corps' top brass.
Who has been held responsible? Have you actually investigated and found guilty anybody?
Today, Commandant Robert Neller pressed by the Senate Armed Services Committee on the growing controversy over shared nude photos of female Marines.
I'm responsible. I'm the commandant. I own this.
Neller acknowledging this is linked to a broader cultural problem that must be addressed.
We're going to have to change how we see ourselves and how we treat each other.
The Pentagon is investigating allegations of Marines sharing as many as thousands of nude and other photos of current and former female service members through a private Facebook group called Marines United that reportedly had tens of thousands of followers.
It is a serious problem when we have members of our military denigrating female Marines who will give their life to this country in the way they have, with no response from leadership.
Yeah, I may be wrong. Pray to God I'm not. But I don't believe this is indicative of the great majority of the Marines that wear this uniform.
The Marines say so far no one has been charged. Other military branches are also looking into reports that photos of female service members were posted on additional websites. Danya Backus, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Back here in Florida, hundreds of women are hoping to close what they call an unfair gender pay gap in the state. Legislation filed earlier this year would ban employers from paying workers a different salary based on their gender when other factors like experience and skill sets are the same. Supporters of the plan say women make just 87 cents for every dollar earned by a man doing the same job. The measure has not yet been taken up by any House or Senate committee.
Very pervasive out there in the workplace, but you don't see as many lawsuits about it. People just continue to work, and we've got to raise the consciousness about it.
Under the measure, pay differences would still be allowed for things like extra education and experience. Legislation like this has actually failed in the past in Tallahassee. Caregivers are at the state capitol this week. They're voicing their opposition to potential cuts in the Medicaid program. Medicaid payments to facilities in Florida are already among the lowest in the nation, and additional reductions would force some hospitals to limit the number of services they offer. One nurse from the Panhandle says 95% of mothers who have babies at her hospital are on Medicaid, and additional cuts to the program could close the department. And this would mean new moms would have to travel an hour to find another place for a hospital.
A large majority of my patients are single moms who work a minimum wage job who are unable to afford health care. Therefore, Medicaid is the only option to provide health care for themselves and their babies.
Those attending this week's conference also say Medicaid typically covers the most vulnerable Floridians, including sick kids, single moms, and the disabled. Currently, the Florida Senate is considering cutting more than $300 million in Medicaid funding. Traffic safety advocates are supporting a bill that would make it mandatory for convicted drunk drivers in Florida to have ignition interlock devices on their steering wheels. Right now, 28 states and Washington, D.C. require people to use interlocks to start their cars after the first drunk driving offense. In Florida, it's only required for repeat offenders and those caught with nearly double the legal limit of alcohol. Massachusetts State Police Sergeant John Catafia lost his son to a drunk driver. John Catafia Jr. was a deputy with the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office and was killed by an impaired wrong-way driver on the Selman Expressway. Sergeant Catafia says requiring interlock devices is an easy solution to this issue.
As a police officer, our job is not to punish people for driving. Our job is simply to make the public safe. By putting more of these interlock devices on cars for first-time offenders, it will in fact do that.
The legislation would also create additional penalties for drivers who refuse to submit to breathalyzers, as well as blood or urine tests. Could also include fines, probation, and points assessed against the driver's license. So far, though, neither the House or Senate version of the bill has reached the committee level. On to consumer news now. One cereal company is using its mascot to help the environment. Cheerios, featuring its Honey Nut Cheerios mascot Buzz, in an effort to boost, global bee populations. The company is partnering with Vessi Seeds to pledge 100 million wildflower seeds. Anyone interested in the campaign can sign up on the Cheerios website to receive 100 free seeds. Recipients are asked to plant them in a bee-friendly area. The company's website notes that bee populations are a crucial pollinator for world food supplies, and they have been declining in recent years. Good news for Amazon Prime subscribers. Prime is now offering free one-day shipping to customers in Sarasota and Manatee counties. Prime members shopping on Amazon can choose from over 2 million items to be shipped the same day or the next day. The total purchase price must be $35 or more to be eligible. Interesting marketing scheme there.
Interesting. You know, back to the Cheerio story.
Yeah.
I think I got the cereals confused, but what about Mikey, you know?
Remember him?
Wasn't he the Life cereal guy?
Yes.
Give it to Mikey, he'll like it.
Where is he now under?
Bring him out of retirement.
I'm surprised you know who that is.
I remember those commercials.
you're in the cradle.
The reruns.
I was going to say you were in the cradle at the time that one came out. I recall that, but you don't.
But we all looked up to Mikey. Give it to Mikey, you know, he'll clean it up for you.
He had a good run, didn't he? Yes.
So I'll give it up to, you know, Bob Harrigan or John Scalzi. They'll deal with the cold temperatures.
Yeah.
It's going to be quite cool tomorrow, or should I say cold tomorrow, but things look to warm up for the weekend. We'll talk all about it coming up.
And still ahead, most of us are aware of the dangers of Zika, but now doctors are alerting us of another virus we need to watch out for. We'll tell you what next in Health Smart.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Car experts and customers agree there's a whole lot to love about a new Subaru. Subaru offers more 2016 IIHS Top Safety Pick Plus winners than any other brand. And Subaru had the best resale value of all brands for 2016. Now you can lease a new Subaru Forester for just $209 a month or get 0% financing during the Subaru A Lot to Love event. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Join us for Sarasota Opera's 2017 Winter Festival, opening February 11th. Featuring Puccini's most famous opera, Madame Butterfly, Rossini's delightful comedy, The Italian Girl in Algiers, Poulenc's heartbreaking Dialogues of the Carmelites, and the medieval thriller The Love of Three Kings by Italo Montemezzi. Tickets are on sale now. Call 941-328-1300 or visit sarasotaopera.org.
You can do something about a crime, any crime, and you can receive a reward of up to $3,000 cash. Call Crime Stoppers with information about criminal activity, unsolved crimes, drug dealers, fugitive criminals, stolen property, illegal weapons. Call 366-TIPS. You will remain anonymous. Visit SarasotaCrimeStoppers.com. Download the Crime Stoppers P3 mobile app from the Apple iTunes Store or Google Play. Call Crime Stoppers 366-TIPS. Paid for by the Attorney General's Office, Crime Stoppers Trust Fund.
With a top prize of $10 million, the new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery is your ticket to take on the world. The new $10 million world-class cash scratch-off from the Florida Lottery. One of our life-changing scratch-offs offering billions in cash prizes.
Hurry in to Sunset Dodge, Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota for big savings on some of America's best vehicles. Over 100 standard and available safety features make the new Chrysler Pacifica a safe investment for any family. And right now, you can buy one for just $24,999 or save up to $11,000 on a new Ram Crew Cab during Ram Truck Month. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram in Sarasota.
The human spirit's capacity to defy the odds, to push the envelope, is boundless.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. I'm meteorologist Josh Stone in for John Scalzi. John returns tomorrow, and he's going to have to deal with the very chilly temperatures. And I'll get to that in just a moment. But right now, it's a little bit cool outside. 55 degrees here in Sarasota with a dew point fairly low in the mid-40s. Not much of a wind to show you here, but we will have breezy conditions today as the winds will be coming out of the north anywhere from 10 to 15 miles per hour with some higher wind gusts. Right now, the winds sustain in Boca Grande at 15 miles per hour. As far as going to the beach today, just look out for rip currents. National Weather Service has issued a rip current advisory through tonight, so I think it actually expires at 6 p.m., but just be mindful of that. And also, the National Weather Service has issued a freeze warning and a hard freeze warning, not for our area, but up to the north, where things could really get cold for tonight into tomorrow morning. We're going to get cold as well, but at least not into the freezing mark, but still temperatures could actually dip down into the 30s for us. Titan radar remains very quiet, nothing to show you here. We're going to have mostly sunny skies today. Again, though, these dew points, which shows the amount of moisture in the atmosphere, well, they're very low. 45 in Sarasota, down to 36 in Orlando, 29 in Tallahassee. So it is pretty bone dry to the north of us, and we're feeling dryness in our area. Sunny and chilly today, lows tonight in the 30s, as I talked about, and then finally by the weekend we'll get to back to more average-like conditions with highs topping out in the mid-70s. Again, dry air just above us, eroding any sort of moisture that tries to form here in the atmosphere. Big storm system plaguing the northeast. Could have been a lot worse, at least for New York City and areas along the coastline. It's kind of like a hurricane, depending on where it sets up, kind of wobble back and forth. 50 miles one way could cause a lot of problems for some people. 50 miles another way could cause problems for other people. And looks like this didn't hit the coastline as bad, but in the interior sections here of the northeast, they're getting pounded with some heavy snow. You can see where the trough is, digs all the way down, allowing all that chilly air to spill southward. Right now it's only 29 in Atlanta, 21 in Cleveland, 17 in Detroit. Futurecast, well, it's going to be quiet, mostly sunny skies for the next several days. Not the best boating forecast, at least for the morning hours. Small craft advisory. We have a northwesterly wind at 20 knots, seas anywhere from 3 to 5 feet. High today only topping out at 62, and that's it. Our normal is 76 degrees, but we're not going to achieve that today. Tonight, in the 30s. Sorry about that, folks, but hey, you know, some people may embrace this. This is good. You can put your flannel sheets on the bed and enjoy a nice, cool evening. Sunshine for the next several days, as I said, and we'll return back into the mid-70s by at least the latter part of the weekend and into early next week, right?
All right, thank you, Josh. Let's check the roads on this Wednesday morning. Bit of a build-up now happening around the downtown Bradenton area. Also on westbound 64, also into downtown Bradenton from different directions. Let's go a little farther south on the map and see what we have in Sarasota County. A build-up in both directions on Fruitville, particularly heading toward the interstate. No surprise as the commute starts to build farther south into the South County region. A little build-up at the 41 bypass area on northbound lanes heading towards Sarasota. Otherwise, all clear at 5:49 on this Wednesday morning. In Health Smart, a new fallout connected to the Zika virus. While Zika has been a major health concern for pregnant women in the past year, another virus known as cytomegalovirus, or CMV, can also have devastating effects on the babies of pregnant mothers. Doctors say luckily they don't see many babies affected by CMV, but those who are often have similar complications to those of Zika virus.
If you would acquire CMV while you're pregnant, there is an increased risk for complications in pregnancies. Those complications can be preterm delivery, stillbirths, and having babies with a lot of brain abnormalities and eye abnormalities.
CMV is usually spread by small children in schools and daycares. The doctor says that most people have probably been exposed to it at some point in their lives, and the older you are, the more likely that your body has already developed antibodies against it. Experts advise pregnant mothers who want to avoid the virus to remember to take their vitamins, get enough rest, wash their hands, and avoid people who are sick. Entertainment news now. Beauty and the Beast has already broken a record, and it's not even in theaters yet. Rick DeMilliga tells us which record it broke and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
There goes the baker with his tray like full waves.
Beauty breaks a record. Disney's live-action retelling of Beauty and the Beast has set a new ticket sales benchmark according to Fandango. The ticketing service says the movie has become its #1 family film for advanced ticket sales, surpassing previous record holder Finding Dory. Beauty and the Beast opens this Friday. The New Kids on the Block are back. The boy band has dropped a music video for One More Night. The song is the first single from their upcoming EP, Thankful, which releases May 12th.
Who doesn't love this guy? Look at him. Oh, his hair would make you better.
Meet Drew, the twin brother of Despicable Me's Gru. The latest trailer for Despicable Me 3 makes it look like Drew is trying to get Gru to return to his villainous ways. Movie fans will have to wait and see what happens when Despicable Me 3 hits theaters on June 30th. In Hollywood, I'm Rick Damigella.
Up next, we'll recap local news headlines. Stay with us.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
If you've ever had a bad night's sleep, call and price the new Craftmatic Legacy. It has so much more than other adjustables and still costs up to 50% less. Featuring a rising adjustable pillow rest to support your head, neck, and shoulders, bedside power plugs, under-bed night lights, and more. So call and price one today for less. Up to 50% less than Tempur-Pedic, Sleep Number, and other adjustables.
You get so much more and it still costs less. You gotta see how little they cost.
Call 1-800-774-8103. That's 1-800-774-8103. Call now.
Is the debt beating you down? You need discipline. You need
the Debt Ninja. If you owe $10,000 or more to the IRS, you could be facing wage garnishments, levies, liens, property seizure, cancellation of business license, closure of business. The Debt Ninja fights your IRS debt. That's why you need the Debt Ninja. The Debt Ninja has found the best companies in the country who are on your side to fight debt. Want to learn if you qualify for the IRS Financial Hardship Program? Stop the IRS from garnishing your wages. Even if your bank account has been seized, if you have undeclared taxes, if you have existing IRS debt, it's not too late to call, so grab your phone now. Call the Debt Ninja at 800-945-0083. That's 800-945-0083. Settle your IRS debt to get the power of the Debt Ninja. Dial this number now, 800-945-0083.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
You know, things can happen in an instant. We never expected Brady to be in an accident. And if he didn't have blood donors, he wouldn't be here.
To Suncoast blood donors and everybody in this community, I'd say thank you. You know, I'm gonna pay it forward.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Welcome back. Checking local news headlines now in Sarasota. Incumbent Commissioner Susan Chapman has been ousted from her seat after one term. Jennifer Ahern Koch, Hagan Brody, Martin Hyde will advance to a runoff for 2 seats on May 9th. In Northport, it was Jill Luke and Pete Emmerich who advanced to their own runoff on May 9th. In Longboat Key, as far as the candidates go, they re-elected Jack Daly and also brought back former Mayor Jim Brown on Longboat Key. Also, most voters were against 2 development referendums. The fallout of 2 tornadoes touching down on the Suncoast still being felt today. We're learning more about the damage caused in the area, especially on Minnesota Key. Crews are now working to clean up the area and restore power in the aftermath of the storm. We leave you this hour with one of the favorite memes of former Vice President Joe Biden. He says it was a picture of he and President Obama, hugging, with a caption suggesting that Biden had hoped Obama would leave Michelle for him. Ashley Biden took credit for the meme and introducing him to memes. She says when he first learned about the memes, he said he sat there for an hour and laughed. If you don't know what memes are, they are the images you often see on social media that show a popular image with an added humorous caption as well. Nothing humorous about the weather. We're going to be very chilly for the next couple of days, Josh.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, temperatures for today not getting out of the 60s. Some areas may be a little warmer, maybe mid-upper 60s, but here along the coast in Sarasota, low 60s. Tonight, 30s.
More local news and the forecast again after this. Stay with us.